What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you have watched any of my videos before, you may notice that I am not sitting in the same place that I usually am. Usually I'm sitting at my desk in this big blue chair, and I wanted to mix it up. The truth is that chair is actually not that comfortable. And I've had it forever, and I just wanted to try something new. So I am just kind of sitting on the ground in my living room. Yes, welcome. Kind of in front of the stairs. I have these lights you can sort of see. Still working on figuring out things like, how to use the ring light, what kind of settings I want to use, but I'm actually liking it a lot. I like this setting. Figuring out how to place my microphone, how to, angle the phone and set that up correctly, but I'm having fun and I don't really care if it's not perfect. Anyway, if you've been here before, hello, welcome back. If this is your first time, oh my gosh, hello, thank you so much for checking out my YouTube channel. I wanted to make a video today talking about something very exciting. Many of you know that I just released a book. It is called I Told You I Hated New York. It came out last month, December 20th on Amazon. It's only $10 if you guys want to buy it. And I have been so happy with what I have heard from people about it so far. People have said that, they really like it, that it feels like me, that, they can relate to it. And hearing all that stuff is absolutely amazing. But, I know that there's a lot of people that haven't read it yet, and maybe they want to hear more about it before they pick up a copy, or people who have read it and really enjoyed it and just kind of want to learn more, dive even deeper. So I'm going to make a video today, not even so much about the book itself, but, the book is called I Told You I Hated New York, so I figured I would tell YouTube that I love New York. So I'm going to share a few moments, stories of times that I've really loved New York City and had a great time there. So the first will be way back in 2010. So yeah, that's 10 years ago. I had just finished up my freshman year of college, and I had my first internship. It was at an advertising agency in New York. I had to dress, kind of business casual. I mean, it wasn't like super formal. I didn't wear a suit or anything, but I dressed up a little, and I got to commute into the city every day from the suburbs in New Jersey. And I will never forget that moment of, I had been into the city a million times. I had taken the train. I had been to Penn Station, but to see Penn Station at rush hour, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, when I've just gotten off the train, I mean, for the first time, wow. It was insane. Penn Station sees so many people coming through their doors every single day, especially at rush hour. It was packed. And if you've ever been to Penn Station, you know that you can come out. There's multiple entrances, and I came out the sort of main entrance on 7th Avenue. My internship was over on 5th Avenue, which is like, super famous street in New York City. I came up the escalator, and I'm just like greeted by, street vendors and people selling newspapers and people shucking tickets to stuff in Times Square. And I just felt so grown up to go into New York for a real internship in an office. Clearly, like, I did not end up going into the advertising field, but, I learned a lot about what it's like to work in the office and just have good work habits. And I had a really great time that summer. I would get out early on Fridays and meet friends for lunch, or stay late and go to dinner, go to shows in the city, do a lot of really cool things. And it was kind of the first time I really got to experience New York as a young adult, without my parents. So the second story I want to share is about CMJ, a college music journal. The CMJ Festival happened every year. It doesn't happen anymore, but for a long time it would happen every October. And back in 2014, I actually got a press pass for CMJ. And I remember driving in on the first day, I guess it was a Monday probably, and meeting with the ladies of Big Picture Media. It's a really great PR firm. They had done all the press for CMJ, kind of organizing credentials and setting up interviews and everything. Getting to meet them and get my credential, I still have that badge. It's super cool. And then getting to go to a lot of really cool showcases. You know, previously I had been to places like, you know, PlayStation Theater, which I guess was Nokia at the time, Webster Hall, but I got to see a lot of the cool, smaller New York venues during CMJ, which was really fun. And this one moment I'll never forget was, I don't remember which day it was, but, you know, it was a long week, right? Like 5 days I was going in and out of the city. Sometimes I was driving in. Usually I was driving in. I would go to Brooklyn a lot. You know, I'd be out really late, and I didn't want to have to deal with like subways and multiple transfers coming back super late at night. So driving just felt easier. Sometimes I took the train in. You know, it just kind of depended like where I was going that day. But I'll never forget this one day of CMJ interviewing the band Have Mercy. And I love that band. You know, super, super cool guys. They've put out some really great records. Definitely records that make you feel so many things. Oh my God. And they were just putting out their record, A Place of Our Own, their first release on Hopeless Records. And I interviewed them at the CMJ like press area. It was at a hotel on, I guess, the Lower East Side. I don't remember the name of it, but I remember interviewing them like on this rooftop, and I was wearing a black dress and these like zebra print boots. It was a pretty cool outfit. And getting to look out and see this incredible view of the city as we were doing the interview, and then taking a picture with them after, and just feeling, I mean, it really drove my passion for music journalism that week. You know, it was exhausting. Like, I was still working in New Jersey that week. I would work a couple hours doing like pet sitting, dog walking, tutoring, you know, whatever, in the mornings, and then go into New York, and then come back really late at night, and then be editing photos, working on interviews. It was exhausting. Like, it was a lot. And, you know, driving in New York is definitely stressful, but that week definitely taught me that, like, I could, you know, it taught me that, like, okay, like, if I need to drive in New York City, I can. It's stressful. I don't want to say I recommend or endorse it, but I can do it, and it's fine, you know? So the third thing I want to share about loving New York City, it's actually two things. And the first is when my friend Rayanne came to visit from Ohio, and I got to go into New York with her last February. And the second is when my friend Jackie, who lives in Philadelphia, came up, and we got to explore New York together. So in both these cases, you know, these are friends that have been, you know, maybe have been to New York before, but haven't spent as much time in the city as I have. And in both cases, first with Rayanne and then with Jackie, I got to just have a lot of fun in New York. You know, a lot of times when I go into the city, I am on a schedule, right? Like, I'm going to this advertising agency on Fifth Avenue for my internship from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or however late I was staying that day. Or I'm going to a show and maybe I'm interviewing someone first. Or I'm meeting my parents for dinner reservations. So to actually be able to go in and just explore and just have fun was really cool. And on top of that, you know, getting to show Rayanne Times Square was awesome. We caught a street performer show. She was in the show, you know, getting to go to like the Sephora in Times Square. Oh my gosh. I mean, look, any Sephora is cool and you could very easily spend a lot of money, but the one in Times Square is like really big. It's really cool. Okay. Getting to take Jackie to some of my favorite vegan spots in the city, taking her to Cinnamon Snail to get some donuts, taking her to a good Chinese place for dinner. I mean, we had such a great time, you know, got to, you know, meet up with some friends. My friend Brian has an apartment, you know, in the city, and got to meet up with him when Jackie and I were exploring. And it was just a really cool thing to show the city, to share it with really close friends of mine that hadn't spent a lot of time there before, and just get to do fun things and, you know, realize like why it is that people love New York so much, right? You know, I've grown up less than an hour from the city for essentially my whole life, except for when I was in college out of state. And so I kind of didn't really think of New York as like that special. It was just there, and like, okay, you know, kids would get internships there, or people would move into the city after college, or you'd go to see a Broadway play and go to a good restaurant. You know, I didn't think of New York as anything special. It was just the city that was right there. And when I've gotten to explore the city with friends that aren't from this area, it really helps me see how special and magical it is. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've really enjoyed doing this. It's been kind of fun, you know. I for the last video, Netflix for Books, I did write out like a whole script. I read it over like once, and I didn't end up really like going off of it. I mean, I read it over, and then I kind of was like, all right, basically improv based on what I wanted to talk about. And for this one, I just wrote out like, here's a list of a couple fun times I've had in the city, and then I just figure I'll kind of speak what's on my mind. And that's been really fun. You know, I'm a writer, I am a planner also. I have, you guys can't see it, but over there I have this color-coded calendar on my wall. I also have, you know, all these reminders on my phone. I have a calendar tracking like my workouts, and it's all color-coded and everything. So to do something like this where I'm just sort of saying what's on my mind and being really unfiltered, and to show my beautiful face while doing it, is really new for me, but I'm liking it. I'm having fun. Thank you guys again for watching this video. If you haven't already, please pick up a copy of I Told You I Hated New York. It would mean the absolute world. It's on Amazon. I'll put the link below. It's only $10. Comes on Prime, so you get free shipping. It's there in a couple of days. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.